The thumbnail is a lie. The step-by-step process is all accurate and it's all right, but my crafts did not turn out successfully. Oh my god, they're so bad. I really tried and they turned out horribly. But if you follow the same steps that I did, just better, then you will get a good result. Unlike me. But anyway, let's get on to this DIY on how to make Halloween party favors. So first thing you're going to need is some mat board or construction paper. I would recommend construction paper because this sucked. But then you're going to need a regular piece of paper, a ruler, some scissors, or an X-Acto knife / box cutter, and then you're going to need some tape. First step is to cut out the stencil. I will leave a link in the description to where you can find this stencil online. Make sure that you draw the lines exactly because I did not and it just turned out so badly. If you're planning on using a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, be sure to put a cutting board or one of these safety mats underneath whatever you're cutting because otherwise it'll cut your table surface that you're working on. Right now I'm using a ruler to measure out how much of this mat board I will actually need. Once I have that, I'm going to cut off the small section which is going to turn into the coffin. Now I'm just tracing around the stencil so that I'll have a guide on where I need to cut to make the walls of the coffin. Make sure that you cut only on the outside lines and not on the inside. Once you have all that cut, you're going to lightly score into the mat board. If you're using construction paper, then you can just fold it upwards. But since I'm using mat board, I have to cut through the first layer of paper into the foam, but avoid cutting into the very bottom layer. Otherwise, the wall will just completely fall off instead of it being on a hinge. So make sure that you don't cut all the way through. Once I've done all of the walls like that, where I've scored almost all the way through but not completely, I'm going to fold up all the edges of the coffin to make sure that they line up. Mine did not line up, but if you follow the template accurately, then yours will line up. So just ignore my unevenness. Now I'm just showing you a close-up of what it looks like whenever you have a mat board and you hinge the edges. On one side it's cut almost completely through and on the other side it's not cut at all. So now I'm just going to tape up the edges. You can use glue or whatever you want, but I'm just taping all of the edges in place. There's the completed bottom of the coffin, and now we have to make a lid to fit the top. So I'm just tracing the inside of my coffin stencil so that I know where to cut. Now I'm going to go 1/4 inch of the outside of the lines of that stencil so that it covers up the width of my mat board also. Now I'm just checking to make sure that it fits. Mine fit kind of, but not really. It could have fit better. And now I'm just going to put candy inside of it and tape it. You can have it like this where it's hinged, or you can take both sides of it if you're going to hand them out in gift bags or something like that. And now I'm adding just a little decoration to the front because I just thought it looked so bad I couldn't handle it. And there's the finished coffin party favor. Next thing we're going to make is a pumpkin party favor. We're going to need some scissors, some tissue paper, and some tape. I'm just going to take one of the pieces and I'm going to fold it in half. And once I've done that, I'm just going to cut it straight down the middle so that it's in 2 separate pieces. And now I'm going to take one of the pieces and I'm going to fold it in half. And then fold it in half again. And then I'm going to draw a circle in the middle of the folded corners, and I thought the circle was too small, so I drew a bigger one. I would suggest drawing an even bigger one. It depends on how much candy you want to put inside the favor. But also make sure that your circle is round because this just turned into an oval, and I mean it worked fine, but I would suggest making it an actual circle. Now you're just going to open up the tissue paper, and there are going to be 2 sheets. You need this just to make sure it's thick and it doesn't break when you put the candy inside. Grab each side and bring them together, and then on the opposite sides I'm going to bring them together again. And then I'm just going to fold in the extra corners. Once I've done that, I'm just going to kind of pat it and try and make it as round as I can and twist the top a little bit. and then I'm going to get some tape and tape it before adding on the stem. Now I'm going to grab that black tissue paper that was in the same packet, and I'm going to cut out a little square, and now I'm just folding that a few times and cutting it to be the right height for my stem. And then I'm going to wrap that around and tape it on. And here's my finished product. I thought it looked bad, so I tried to make it have a face, and I think that made it worse. I don't know if I can even make it worse, but I mean, decorate it however you want. If you think that this might make it look better, then go ahead, but for me, I don't think it did. Oh my god, this is pitiful. I can't watch this. I hope that whatever you made turns out a lot better than this. The steps are all correct, it's just my result was not the best. Well, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on social media. I also have a second channel in which I talk about LGBTQA topics. If that is something you're interested in, please be sure to go over and check that out. I'll leave links to all of that in the description, but other than that, I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye!